Alright, picture this. You walk into a church. The music is bumping, the lights are dimmed just right, and on stage, the pastor, dressed sharper than a Fortune 500 CEO, tells you that God wants to bless you with wealth beyond your wildest dreams. You just have to sow a seed first, preferably in $100 denominations. This is the prosperity gospel, the belief that faith plus generous giving equals God showering you with money, success, and good health. Sounds pretty great, right? But hold on. Some call it a divine promise, while others call it straight-up manipulation. So, which is it? Let's talk about it. So, where did this idea even come from? The prosperity gospel, also known as the Word of Faith movement, gained serious traction in the mid-20th century. Preachers like Oral Roberts and Kenneth Copeland started teaching that God wants you to be rich, healthy, and successful, and the way to unlock that is by giving generously to their ministries. The idea comes from scriptures like Malachi chapter 3 verse 10, the one about bringing tithes to the storehouse so that God can open the floodgates of heaven, and Luke chapter 6 verse 38, which says, "Give, and it will be given to you." But here's the twist. Instead of teaching generosity as a virtue, prosperity preachers teach it as a transaction, like a holy vending machine. Put in money, press the faith button, and watch the blessings pour out. Cha-ching! Now let's be fair. Some people swear by this message. They'll tell you, "I gave when I had nothing, and God turned my finances around." And hey, faith is powerful. Positive thinking and generosity do change lives. But there's a darker side. Here's where things get sketchy. Many of these preachers aren't just teaching about faith, they're building personal empires. And not small ones. $65 million. Meanwhile, some of the very people donating can't even afford rent. I gave all I had because they said it was a test of my faith. But I'm still waiting for my breakthrough. See, that's the problem. When faith turns into a spiritual, get-rich-quick scheme, it preys on the poor and desperate. And the biggest winners? The preachers collecting the offerings. To be clear, there's nothing wrong with pastors making money. But when faith becomes a business model, that's where things get dicey. So let's settle this. Is the prosperity gospel actually biblical? Well, Jesus didn't exactly roll in luxury. In fact, he said riches can be a spiritual trap. He literally told one guy to sell everything and give it to the poor. Not exactly the get-rich message, huh? Sure, the Bible talks about blessings, but it also says Christians should be generous without expecting anything in return. That's kind of the opposite of what some of these preachers are pushing. Oof, that one hits different when you think about preachers in Ferraris. At the end of the day, can faith lead to blessings? Absolutely. But does giving money guarantee God will make you rich? That's where things get murky. Faith should be about trusting God, not treating him like an ATM. If giving comes from the heart, awesome. But if a preacher says God won't bless you unless you pay up, you might want to grab your wallet and run. So, what do you think? Is the prosperity gospel an inspiring message of faith? Or is it a dangerous scam? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe, just maybe, sow a seed into this channel. Just kidding. See you in the next one.